Okay, so this is for my Concepts of Algebra 2 classes. This is your Section 5.1 quiz review. Your quiz will have 5 questions. We will do 5 questions just like them. The first 2 questions have to do with graphing. So we are going to graph the following problems. Okay, so let's start with number 1. Number 1 is going to be the following problem. It reads y equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 3. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is make sure that this is in standard form. Here is your standard form. Remember, it's y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. There is standard form. So for our problem, let's make sure it's in standard form. And it is. And let's identify a, b, and c. Over here, a is 2. B is negative 8, and C is 3. Now, let's take this problem and let's find the vertex. The first thing to find is the vertex. Alright, so vertex. To find the vertex, we're going to use this x equals the opposite of b over 2a. That is the opposite of negative 8. The opposite of negative 8 is positive 8. A is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And when you divide those, you get 2. There's the x coordinate. So if I'm trying to find my vertex, I know that x is 2. So now I need the y. To find the y, we plug it back into the equation. 2 times 2 squared minus 8 times 2 plus 3. And if you use the calculator, you get negative 5. So my vertex here is the point 2, negative 5. Here's my vertex, 2, negative 5. My axis of symmetry is also going to be the x of the vertex. X equals 2. That's going to be my axis of symmetry. So let's start by graphing that. Okay, so here's my piece of graph paper. I'm going to put the vertex on there first. The vertex is the point 2, negative 5. So on here, I'll use black on here. We're going to go 2 over 2 and then down 5. So there's my vertex. How about I use blue? I use blue so that it stands out. I'm going to draw my axis of symmetry down through the vertex. And I'm going to label that with its equation x equals 2. And now I need the right and left sides. So remember, here's where we pick a point. We're going to pick an x to the right of 2. That would be 3. So we're going to, over here, open up a point, put 3. We're going to plug 3 into our equation. Y equals 2 times 3 squared minus 8 times 3 plus 3. And again, we use our calculator, and our answer comes out to be negative 3. So here is our other point, 3, negative 3. So 1, 2, 3, negative 3. And I'm going to graph that. And there's the right side of my parabola. Now, there is this idea of symmetry. This is the axis of symmetry. So the left side looks exactly the same. So if this is the right side, just go right across the axis of symmetry. Here's that other point. That other point is going to be at 1, negative 3. 1, negative 3. And I'll draw the left side. And there I go. And there's my parabola. And that's how we graph a parabola in standard form. Okay, continuing right along, we'll do second problem. This one is the second type of question you will see. Here, it says, write in standard form. And our equation is going to be y equals negative 3, x plus 4, x minus 5. Here's our equation that we're going to write in standard form. Alright. So recall, in class, we need to FOIL first. FOIL first. First, outer, inner, last. First. X times x is x squared. Outer. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. Inner. 4 times x is positive 4x. And last, 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. You are not done until you combine the like terms. X squared minus 5x plus 4x, that's a minus 1x, or just a minus x. You can put 1 here if you want to. It doesn't matter to me. So now I'm going to bring this y equals negative 3, what we haven't used yet, I'm going to bring it down here. Y equals negative 3. I need to distribute this negative 3, so go ahead and put parentheses around what you FOILed, the trinomial that you got once you FOILed. And let's distribute the 3 once, twice, 3 times. So we get y equals negative 3x squared. Okay, negative 3 times negative x is positive 3x. And negative 3 times negative 20 is positive 60. And there is your equation in standard form. FOIL first, distribute second. FOIL first. FOIL first. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our third problem. Okay, and it is a word problem. It says you throw a ball into the air with your left hand and catch it in your right. The path of the ball can be modeled by the graph of the function y equals negative 8x squared plus 8x plus 4. We're going to graph this function. Okay, so let's pretend we're this person and we're standing right here. Okay, and let's pretend this is my this would be my left hand, this is my right hand. So here's my ball. And what I do is I toss it up, 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 and then it comes down in my right hand. So notice that this is the shape of a parabola. And a parabola is what these quadratic functions are. X squared means parabola. We are going to draw this path of the ball. Okay, so here's my equation. First thing is to make sure it's in standard form, which I believe it is. Standard form again, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. It is. A is negative 8, b is positive 8, and c is 4. So we need to find the vertex first. To find the vertex, we use opposite of b over 2a. The opposite of b is negative 8, and a is negative 8. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. Excuse me, when you put this in the calculator, you will get positive a half. So now we need to come up with the y that goes along with this. Well, we just plug it back in to the original equation. Negative 8 times positive a half squared plus 8 times positive a half plus 4. And if we do this in the calculator, and I'll do it along with you, negative 8 times 0.5 squared plus 8 times 0.5 plus 4. We will come out with an answer of 6. So the vertex is 1/2 6. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down a little bit and insert a graph here so that we can graph this guy. All right. Now remember, it is a word problem, so we only need the positive part of the graph. Okay, so I have inserted a graph into my page here. We have the positive, the first quadrant, which is positive x, positive y. I'm going to go ahead and label, these, every other is going to be 1. So 1, so I'm counting by halves. 2, 3, 4, 5. Do the same thing up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll put 6 right there. Okay, and we'll extend this up. There's 6. So 6 goes along here. Okay, so there's 6. So we're going to graph this 1/2 6. So 1/2 is here, and 6 is right there. So there's my point. There's my vertex. I'm going to draw my axis of symmetry coming straight down through. This axis of symmetry has the equation x equals, and it's what you found over here, 1/2. And now I need to graph. Now I need to graph by picking an x value to the right and to the left. Well, let's pick 1. It's the next one over. So let's pick x is 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a point with an x-coordinate of 1. And I need to find the y that goes with that point by plugging it into this equation. Y equals negative 8 times 1 squared plus 8 times 1 plus 4. And when I simplify this, I'm going to get 4. So this point right here is 1, 4. And I'm going to graph that. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here is the ball falling down. Okay. So now, to get the left side, we go straight across the axis of symmetry. This point right here. This point must be 0, 4. And there we go. And this is the picture of the path of that ball. Okay? So I must throw it, and it comes up and down. Alright? So there's graphing, and these are 3 questions that you will need to know how to do for your quiz tomorrow. Okay? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then. Make sure you bring this paper for your quiz.